Matt and Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary. This week, Ready Player One.
Don't need no rulers in this time of Spartacus. We have the numbers, concentrate power in us. Retake your world, it's the only one we've got. Are you to be free or not? Found no use for the queen, I love the monarchy too. Never cared much for me, ain't never heard about you. Retake your world, it's the only one you got. Are you to be free or not?
In the year 2017, I felt happiness for the last time. Then in the year 2018, this shit came out.
And what shit might that be?
Ready Player fucking One.
Player One, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You sound like it.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Matt.
This is Luke.
This is our Sci-Fi
Sanctuary.
We have to calm Luke down on this one, so we're by a calming temple.
Yeah, we went past the Babbling Brook. Actually, a legit super lovely park that brought me to, which you can't see because it's an audio podcast.
That's right.
So fuck you.
Excuse me. So Ready Player One, I don't know. I didn't see it till it was on Blu-ray, and I watched it, and I personally pretty much forgot about it.
Right.
Mostly.
So obviously there was the book first, right?
Which I didn't read.
And like my brother read it, he lent it to my mum, she read it, and they're like, "Oh, Luke, you gotta read this. You're gonna love it." And like my friends at work, "Oh, Luke, have you read that Ready Player One? You'll love it. It's right up your street." And eventually I gave in and read it and despised it. I hated it with a passion. Like it had some redeeming qualities, but for the most part, it was offensive to me on every level. But then they made a film, and in every possible way, they made it worse than the book.
No, I know when I watched the film, my take, like in 2018 or late 2018 or whatever, was, now I want to watch The Shining, although I believe that's not in the book. That's Blade Runner in the book, right?
No, it's fucking war game.
Matthew Broderick?
Yeah.
Ow! Yeah.
And it's not even like a fun puzzle, it's just he has to recite the whole script of war game.
They should have had that in the movie, yeah.
Right? Just had the full runtime of that film in the film.
Then it'd be 3.5 hours.
It would have been the best bit of this film.
Or
it just cut to that film.
You chose a long movie, man. I guess maybe it's like you talking about the Funko Pop thing. Here's the thing you like.
Right.
But, context is for kings.
But yeah, this does to cinema what The Big Bang Theory did to comedy, which is publicly castrate it.
I'll still support The Big Bang Theory's Lego set, though. That's pretty hip.
Yeah, the amount of times that people come around my apartment and they're like, "Oh, it's like being on The Big Bang Theory." It's like, no, because these are things that I like, and I bought them for reasons.
I'd get the DNA sculpture. That's pretty hip.
No, I'd get that thing because it has meaning to me, not just, "Oh, that looks like science."
But yeah, this movie is kind of just like, here's that thing you like in your face. Here's another thing you like in your face. Oh, you don't like this one? Whatever.
Yeah, and it's worse than that. It's insipid. It's insidious. This film is evil, and it's everything that's wrong with the world. And because it represents the death of art.
Because April ain't shit. Did we announce that already?
Yeah, we didn't say it this week yet. This is April ain't shit, and so we've recorded 2. Have they heard?
You mean?
Oh right, no, yeah. No, we've already recorded one that we actually hate because we did Ghostbusters.
If they're listening, they've heard it.
Right.
You haven't heard it yet because it's current. Batman and Robin is currently rendering on my computer for video.
So yeah, I've watched both of Matt's films for April ain't shit. And both of them I can see, like, they're a bit crap, but I can't bring myself to hate them. I got sitting and watching those films, I had enjoyment. Whereas sitting and watching this film, my blood just boils.
I didn't. I'm kind of on you with this one. I don't think I hate it quite with your con level passion. But
Right, but Matt doesn't believe things. Whereas I believe in things like right and wrong.
Well, no, I believe in making the right choices. You make your choice not based on belief, but what you know.
Right.
Which is definitely not this movie. This movie is all
Well, it's entirely
a
surface
facsimile.
level. Yeah.
Yes. We've talked about like actors not being there for the film, like last week's the Batman Robin Clooney wasn't there, right?
Right.
Steven Spielberg wasn't here.
No one was
We're
here for this
missing
film,
the director in this case.
The point of this entire film is just by the numbers. This is the storyboard before they've made the film, right? Like, you know, a lot of modern films, one of the reasons soundtracks are a bit crap these days. When they're editing the film, they put in generic music, which they have on file. And then the directors get attached to that version and ask the composers to stay close to that. So the composers have no autonomy to create interesting music.
Yeah.
That's why you don't get anything like a John Williams score in like a Marvel film, right? Maybe Thor and Captain America had half decent themes, but you can't remember the music from a Marvel film.
I guess the Avengers theme
theme's
has
good,
a
and
little bit of traction.
That and the end of Endgame when it plays, I did really like that.
I think I mentioned before, all the good film scores were written in the 1930s.
Well, yeah, exactly. But like Star Wars, sure, it's not original, but you can remember like the song that plays when they're sad, the song that plays in this fight, the song that plays in that fight.
Did
Spaceships, right?
Did Ready Player One have music?
It had some 80s songs that used. But what I was getting at is, this is that for the entire film. This is like they put in the placeholder assets and didn't change it. The plot, the characters, the effects, it's all just, we'll write it later. And then they didn't.
I think John Williams was going to do this one, and then he jumped ship for the post, so good choice on his part.
Yeah. Film that was about something.
One more thing I just want to get right out of the gate. Do you retroactively hate other Spielberg movies more because of this movie?
So here's the thing. I've never been that into Spielberg. He makes good films, fun films.
Yeah.
And like he can get children to act, he can gel effects well, but he's never blown my mind. Like, I love Jurassic Park, Schindler's List is a masterpiece, but I've never been someone who's like, oh, a Spielberg film is coming, I have to see it.
Well, yeah, I guess I don't think anyone is, though.
I think they were in like the 80s and 90s, maybe.
Yeah, but I guess he had his fingers in so many things as a producer as well, because, again, you're like, he's tangentially involved with Star Wars, I guess.
He makes like a percentage cut on A New Hope still to this day.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. So
Have you not heard that story?
I'm more right than I'm wrong. Go ahead with it.
So it was when Spielberg was making Close Encounters and George Lucas was making Star Wars, they visited each other's sets, and they both thought, oh, this guy's film is way better. I'm an idiot. So they agreed to give each other like 1% of the profits. And, you know, Lucas made a few bob. Spielberg could live off that money to this day. But no, it doesn't, because I've always thought, Spielberg, he's okay. He does some good stuff and some bad stuff. And A, this is just, I just put it in his bad pile. And B, like you said, he clearly doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only presence, he did, I think he left out references to his own films, which are in the book, except for the DeLorean, but the thought
But he's
there,
only like producer.
That was the excuse. He just produced it. And, you wanted DeLorean, because it wasn't, oh no, that's licensing rights.
Anyway, don't even get me started on what does and doesn't get included, because we've got sections on that.
I didn't enjoy writing the plot summary yesterday, but I tried to keep it nice and neutral with one notable exception.
Right.
You want to hear it?
Let's do that, and then my thinking is we'll do what was wrong with the book, then how the film made it even worse.
Okay. In a dystopian 2045, the average citizens live in dilapidated, stacked-up mobile homes. But that's okay, because they can escape into the Oasis, a digital wonderland created by the late tech genius John Halliday. Before passing, he placed a golden Easter egg somewhere in the Oasis. Entire companies are devoted to finding this, as the finder will become the owner of the Oasis. Wade Watts is just a regular schlub searching for the egg. He is one of many Günters, who are regular people in search of the egg. But in the Oasis, he is Parzival, and his deep knowledge of John Halliday allows him to find the first of 3 keys needed to unlock the egg. This feat puts him on the game board and brings Parzival to the attention of both Nolan Sorrento, the CEO of the Egg Hunting Corporation IOI, as well as other Günters, including cyber gorilla Artemis. IOI soon discovers Parzival's real-life
I
identity.
think you just got the names the wrong way around.
Yeah, whatever.
Artemis is the lady one.
Yeah, that's what I meant. She's a
Like
cyber
a
gorilla.
Oh, gorilla.
Yeah, she's not
I
a
was
real
thinking like
gorilla.
gorilla.
No, the
With like EU.
the cool way to spell it.
Right.
IOI CERN. I'm not editing. IOI soon discovers
They didn't
Parzival's
edit this film, so fuck it.
real life identity and comes after Wade. At first with an offer and then with a bomb that kills his aunt and abusive uncle instead. He is saved by Artemis under her real world guise, the horrifically deformed Samantha Cook. Everybody does the shining for a bit, and Team Parzival manages to gain the second key. The third challenge involves some kind of Atari 2600 game. IOI has managed to eliminate all avatars except Parzival with the cyber nuke and is busy trying to figure out which 2600 game is the final key. Parzival is on the search as well, though linked to the Oasis in a moving van that is being chased by IOI operatives. Wade's deep knowledge of John Halliday allows Parzival to figure out that the game in question is Adventure, which included video game's first Easter egg, the name of its creator. Wade, with his horrifically deformed sweetie Samantha by his side, becomes the new owner of the Oasis and probably lives happily ever after, at least until someone punches him in the face.
So the book came out, I think, in 2011.
I
Or
believe
maybe
that's
like
right.
2009? So around then, right?
You-
And that was around the time like your Big Bang Theory was starting, the Marvel films were starting to pick up.
Well, the rights,
so, like-
the movie rights were sold before the book came out, was it?
Fuck's sake.
That is
I mean,
I
that,
said
that
it in question
tracks,
form.
right?
I said it in question form, but that's what happened.
Right. I mean, what did he sell? The rights to buy other rights. Like, anyway. So around the time that, like, this, like, facsimile of geek culture was becoming a popular aesthetic, right? And it was that version of geek culture where, like, oh, these things are loved by, like, these white guys who live in their mother's basement, and, you know, geek culture is this way that, like, pathetic little nerdlings escape from society or whatever, which, A, has never really been true. I have just as many female friends who are into this stuff as straight white dudes. It's just that they, like, pretty much everything owned the conversation, and so they sold it as something that belonged to them. And this film is all about that. It's all about this a gatekeeping, right? It's about, like, oh, your worth as a human being is how much you know about this pop culture shit. And the story is just a vessel to make the writer feel good about the fact that he's based his life around that shit.
See, I thought your hate here was originally like a gamer thing, right?
Right.
But very early in my note taking for this, what did I write here? It's a good one. I can't find it at the moment, but basically it was my problem with this movie's metaphysical, but I guess yours is as well.
I think we'll get to that section eventually, right? There's like a lot I want. So, like, we did Batman and Robin, and it's like, well, this is like a fun romp and stuff, but it's stupid.
It just went off the tracks.
Right. And, like, there's other films where it's like, oh, the effects are good, but the stories are not quite there, or the other way around. But every single aspect of this film I despise. So don't worry, we'll get there. But at the moment, I'm just thinking, like, specifically the book. The main thing... So, a few years after this book came out, right, Gamergate. And this book is... this is the wet dream of those fucking dweebuses who, like, put Trump in the White House, who shoot up schools, who fucking build their identity around, like, oh, I'm better than you because I can memorize the names of the Silmaril from the Silmarillion or whatever. And then they don't realize that, like, oh, maybe what's important is, like, human beings and social skills and existing in the real world. And yeah, the whole point of this book is just to create a world where that is valuable.
Yeah, I read Logan's Run after I watched Logan's Run, but I didn't really feel any urge to get into the book, so...
Well, I read this before I even knew there was a film and hated it. And then I went to see the film out of spite.
You paid for it?
Yeah, I went and saw it in theaters, like, opening weekend, because it's like, no, I need to like... And then I, like, wrote a review or something online. Because I knew people were going to try and tell me it was good, and I had to be ready to tell them it's not.
I saw a Facebook post yesterday. It was one of the folks saying that are at home saying they were listing films that everyone else likes that they hate. Independence Day was on the list. It is the guy I want to bring in for Independence Day.
Okay.
He put Ready Player One on his list too, and like half the comments were like, "I fucking hate that movie."
Yeah.
Like I don't think people actually like this movie. Hey, if you do, tell us because we want to hear about it. And
I mean,
unless you're one of those guys.
I mean, right. So some people like this movie because it's like, oh yeah, you fucking tell them, fucking tell those normies. It's the video games. Yeah, that's what makes me like a freaking Ubermensch and fucking fucking man. Right, but
my note is, don't go for The Shining. You're ruining my childhood.
Right. So, just the most fundamental. This film is set in the future, right? But the properties are all the stuff that the guy who wrote the book grew up loving, right?
Yeah.
It's just so. What's the word I'm thinking
Well,
of?
he liked a lot of stuff.
No, but it's like.
It's like a potpourri of
like
pop
blinkered,
culture references.
Like, it's just such a narrow worldview, right?
Mm.
And it's like, oh, wouldn't it be great if everyone on Earth shared my worldview? That's the point of this film, right? So I've had people be like, oh, why can't you just let people enjoy stuff? I'm like, I do, but that's not what this film does. This film is about you have to like the exact shit I like. No, that's what the book's like. The film is even more insidious. We'll get to that. But yeah, so like pop culture is obsessed with the stuff which the game's creator was obsessed with, which I guess is just the stuff the writer was obsessed with, right?
Mm.
And it's just like, oh, what a pathetic little reason to write a fucking novel. But then also just like reading the book, there are sections where it just feels like he copied and pasted a Wikipedia page. And I remember like my buddy was around while I was reading it, and I was just reading paragraphs out to him, and we were just pissing ourselves laughing. It's just like, oh, and then Joust that was released in 1986, and it does this. And he's like, oh yeah, and I heard da 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 da. Oh, hate it.
I was just thinking if you did that for the next 40 minutes. Yeah. Like, for me, I wrote a plot synopsis for this. I did glance at the Wikipedia page, mostly for character names referenced, and to make sure I was getting generally the right order. But for the most part, I made sure not to look at the Wikipedia page as I was actually writing, which I guess is not the case for the author whose name is...
Ernest Cline.
Okay, sorry, I just thought we should put a label
he
on
sounds
it.
like he should have got beat up at school. So then... As well as just like that aspect of it, it's also just a really like lame crap plot. Like, Goody fights the evil corporation, wins. At least the book, has like a pretty decent anti-capitalist bent, which is kind of lost in the film.
Yeah, this does until he becomes the capitalist, and then everything's
right, but
cool.
like there are other aspects which the film has cut, which the book at least was better about. So we'll get to that in a minute. And I think the book is a little bit less sexist.
Okay. I'm basically letting you rant on the book because I don't know the book, but I really hate John Halliday.
Right.
In the book.
I feel like you got a bit less of him in the book.
Yeah.
I mean, you hate him a bit, but like, yeah, in the book he's kind of just an enigma, and he created this thing and everyone's hunting for it. But in the film, because you actually get to see him, you're like, oh, he was a cunt.
Exactly. I'm like, why is Wade like idolizing this guy?
Right, but people do, right? People idolize Steve Jobs, fucking, who's the space nutter?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, yeah, fucking. People even idolize like fucking the Amazon cunto.
You know his name. You want to punch him?
Yeah. You should punch him if you ever meet him.
I'm waiting how long the name takes to get in your mind.
I'm glad I don't remember it. I'm really glad.
Okay.
Whatever, Amazon cunto. He doesn't deserve a name.
Bezos.
Yeah, Bezos. right now we are in we're recording this in April of 2020, right? So the world is on like the brink of a huge disaster. Japan is refusing to admit that, which is why we're allowed to sit outside and record it like this.
Although I think we're 2 meters, maybe.
Right. But where are all these billionaires you idolize? How are they solving it?
In their doomsday silos.
So, yeah,
On their super yachts.
We need guillotines.
I did read an article about how a bunch of super yachts left port, basically.
Yeah, good. I hope they get torpedoed.
Do you have anything else you want to get on the book? I just...
No, because I want to move... We should move on to the film. This is a film podcast, primarily.
Yeah, that's when I get let off the leash a little bit.
And also I can get into all the ways that somehow this takes a terrible book and makes it worse. Fucking Jeff Bezos.
Yep, now you guys name down.
Yeah,
Fucking John Halliday.
I know. Right, so the film. So, right from the off, the film fucks it. Because in the book, the first challenge is on, like, the free-to-access educational planet. So, like, in the book, I think Wade, the main guy, must be a bit younger in the book. Because he's at school. And in this dystopian future, well, exactly like the current real world, school is done virtually, right? So he doesn't have like a DeLorean and whatever. He has the free basic character and he can attend the school. But the first Easter egg is hidden on the school planet. So it's gets the thing, like anyone can win this competition, right?
So it's like we don't want to pay the rights for Mario Kart, so they just went with the generic racing game?
Right. But it's not a race or anything. It's the freaking Dungeons and Dragons map, actually. But the whole point was that it's like, for the first challenge, you don't have to have anything. You can just turn up and do it. It's just about solving the puzzle. Whereas in this, like, at the start of the film, he's already got loads of expensive shit. Also, whoever made that scene does not understand fucking video games. Because if a video game came out, within a day they'd have solved that puzzle. Like, people... Have you...
Yeah, you get stoned. You're like, I'm going backwards now.
Like, I see you don't really like follow games like I do, but like within a week of a game's release, people have discovered every glitch. They figured out how to speed run it. They've ripped it apart, right?
Hey, I knew all the shortcuts in San Francisco 2048, and I'm not a gamer.
Right? Yeah.
Well, not much.
If you watch like the speedrun shit and stuff they do, but it's like it's one of the fundamental principles of game design, as like codified by Miyamoto. Reward the player who goes left. Like, the natural instinct for most people who play games is to, before you go the way you're meant to go, see what's the way you're not meant to go.
I go right a lot, maybe because I'm left-handed?
Well, you know, in games you go left to right, right?
Yeah.
They're saying that reward the person who checks out what's the other way.
Yeah, I'm just saying I usually turn right first.
Well, I'm talking 2D games.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're meant to go right? That's the point.
So I'd never do the fake-out.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Or
you do what
rarely
you're
do
told.
fake-out, yeah.
Sheep. So yeah, like this, they're like, oh, 5 years on and no one's figured out that you just reverse. Like, fuck off.
It did seem like a pretty pat answer.
And like, he didn't even just come up with it. He had to go and watch a video where the guy like gives a clue and looks at the camera.
It's no pod race, man.
It's not anything. There's no like fucking choreography or thought behind any of this. I remember. So one of the other films we were watching for this month was you made me watch the 2001 Planet of the Apes film. But
Made you watch it.
I actually enjoyed it. But I thought, oh, this is from before Hollywood could choreograph fights. Because everyone just runs forwards and goes, Ugh!
Yeah, that's in my notes for that one.
And like, this is like that. There's no like choreography or moves or art to any of these battle scenes. There's just a bunch of freaking CGI models run towards each other. It's like watching fucking Spartan Total War on like a fucking Windows 98 computer.
Yeah, maybe I should have thrown this disclaimer out. On Matt and Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary, sometimes we like to keep our language family friendly. Sometimes we definitely don't.
Don't think I could have done for this film. No. Fuck this film.
So
this film is by cunts for cunts.
I should have said it in the first segment, not the third. But yeah, this is your fuckity fuck.
Know, right?
I think they know. If you're listening to Ready Player One, either you're going to send us a really angry email, or you're probably going to scream fuck on your own.
Yeah, if you want to send me an email, then just fucking come and meet me in a steel cage, son.
He's been working out.
Oh, I'm buff as shit.
Sorry, I tried to bait you a little bit, but I was talking over you. King Kong.
Yeah.
I just want you to respond. Because I'm not going to make you respond like every fucking reference here, but...
But the same as every reference in this film, it's like, oh, that's the thing I remember. It's stripped of all context and meaning. It's just, oh, look.
Okay,
like
so it's just...
King Kong didn't bother me that much, right? Because they were in a vaguely New York place and King Kong attacks you. Okay, fine. But some of them, man. Like, at the Iron Giant.
That was supposed to be Godzilla, I believe.
No, Mechagodzilla's still in it, though.
Oh, no, it was supposed to be someone else. Maybe it was a Spielberg movie.
Right,
thing.
But the Iron Giant, the whole point of that film is about, like, by the end of that film, the Iron Giant, he's put war behind him. It's about how war is terrible. Same with Gundam. Gundam is about the horrors of war. But here it's like, oh, that looks cool. Wouldn't it be cool if it did violence?
Did we get a Gundam in here?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember what they didn't put in. They brought in everything else.
So... I've got so many things I want to talk about. So in the book, it's everything the author loved, right? In the film, it's everything Universal could buy. So, like, you don't notice what's in this film. You notice the very obvious absences. There's no Star Wars or Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's bullshit.
Well, it didn't. I mean, I did notice they were missing. They're force-feeding you everything else. So.
Right. But it's... so the book is about, like, that 80s era of video games, right? Like your Atari and your Spectrum or whatever. Where there was a real... Like, anyone in their bedroom could make the next hit video game. There was, like, a homebrew attitude, and piracy was rife, and that was the spirit of the time. And this film version is the opposite of that. This is all licensed. The film trailer came out, and, like, the tweet was like, how many Universal properties can you spot in this trailer?
And then they dumbed them all down for the most part. I wrote down GoldenEye questions are level 1.
Yeah, right? Oh, also, right, we're talking about how Holloway's a cunt. He plays as Oddjob? What an asshole.
You don't play as Oddjob. People scream at you when you play Oddjob.
No wonder he didn't have any friends. Right, but yeah, so like the Iron Giant and Gundam, the point of those films is like to renounce violence, and they're just... No one cares about the context. Like, you remember this from when you were a kid? Here it is on screen. And, like, at the end, the Iron Giant does the T2 thumbs up. And the point of that thumbs up in T2 was that the Terminator had learned the value of life and didn't want to kill anymore. Here it's like, yeah, thumbs up to violence. Kill some more. Fuck this film.
Another reference-ridden film that I do like... So I just want to play it off you like a player one, is Wreck-It Ralph.
Right.
Called Sugar Rush in Japan.
But Wreck-It Ralph, okay, so A, it has its own plot, which is kind of separate from the references, right?
Right.
Also, all of those references are made with love. Like, there's a punchline. Those are jokes. That's season 1 Family Guy, not season 10 Family Guy, right?
So I just wanted to draw that line in because, it's not the references, it's the
way that they are divorced from context, and the way that the film thinks... The film represents modern cinema in that it doesn't have an idea or anything to say or any inherent value. It's just, you remember these things, so you'll give us money to see them and remember when you were happy.
And Yeah, it's so trippy doing this right now because everyone is stuck in their house, meeting virtually and remembering when they were happy.
Right.
So
Right, but everyone's like, oh, I hate this. I can't wait for this to end. Like, this film, but there's going to be a whole segment on this. This film celebrates the idea of bread and circuses. This film is, the ideal future is one where everything's terrible, but you can ignore it and look at a screen.
What percentage of this is basically a CGI, like an animated movie?
I was thinking that, actually. Must be like 70.
Yeah.
They act better than the freaking on-screen actors. Should we get into those cunts?
Sure. I can't stand this indecision, married with the lack of vision. Everybody wants to rule the world. When I was 7, it was my favorite song.
I like that song.
I was like pissed when it showed up in this movie.
That's me with every single thing in this movie, right? Because I like this stuff. But that doesn't mean I like your shit film that references it. It's, right, okay. Tell you what this film is, right? This is so many dudes I know who are like, I just want to meet a girl who likes video games and likes Star Trek and like, but you need to meet a girl who you like the human being that you're going to be spending time with, right?
In university, I briefly dated a girl. And I was the asshole here, by the way. I was that guy, not because of gamer.
I went through that phase, right?
Yeah. So, but I dated this girl for a little while. She was into all the same shit I was, all the movies I like, all the music I like, and it was boring as shit.
Yeah. Because you have to have, like, a sense of humor, a personality, opinions on things.
I showed my wife, like, the list of the podcasts we've done so far. I was like, oh, you've only seen, like, 3 of these movies. And she's like, why haven't you done Back to the Future yet? So
we will at some point. This will upset everyone back home. I watched those in the theatre last month. Right, but yeah, this film doesn't have a personality or any opinions or a soul. This film is just like, oh. No, this film is a fake gamer girl, right? You know that meme, right?
No, go for it.
They don't exist, but it's like...
The Manic Pixie Dream Girl?
Well, it's like you just pretend to like video games so that boys will think you're hot. Like, women who spend fucking thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours crafting elaborate cosplays are just doing it to impress men. Right? Like, yeah, okay, bud, your dick's that important. But that's what this film is. This film is pretend... Right, this film is the corporate guy who pretends to like the stuff in the film. He is more this film spirit than the hero is.
But you see, Wade can see into her soul because she's horribly deformed.
So that is from the book, right? Although, in the book, he doesn't see her in person until way later. And she is way more competent. She's like, at the start, she's already a famous gunter. And he's just this dweebus who like follows her Twitch streams and stuff. And then, of course, he gets the first key and then she becomes it. But she's never anything less than like an equal or his better. In this film, he saves her at the very start of the film. She then gets pointlessly captured and damseled for a huge portion of it. That's not from the book. The book had none of that, but the film's like, oh, we better make her a damsel in distress so we can save her and win her. Because that's how this film sees the world. It's a video game and you win the woman.
Right. Yeah, at least they found a perfectly unattractive actress with Olivia Cook. Wait, no. Yeah.
She's... Right, but that's in the book, right? She's super hot, but she has a birthmark. So he's some sort of hero for getting a boner over her.
I got a boner, I'm a hero.
And, like, they gave her a cool birthmark. Like, it just looks like a cool face tattoo or something. They didn't even try and make her any less attractive. She is completely conventionally super attractive.
There's a shot near the end where I was like, oh, get her on her good side. It's like profile shots.
Right. Fucking, this film. And then, yeah, so the whole thing where she gets captured and he has to rescue her, not in the book. In the book, there is a bit where he gets put in one of those centers, but it's like a deliberate ploy to like get on the inside.
Right.
And yeah, the whole, like, that's one of the book. I started off like, okay, I might enjoy this, and then the whole references thing, I was like, okay, this is real bullshit. Then in the second half, it got into like the battle against the baddies, and I was like, oh, this is like really anti-capitalist. I like this. And the whole idea of like these indentured service centers for these debts that they deliberately rack up, that is not very far from reality, right?
I don't go for in-app purchases myself.
No, I don't. But it doesn't have to be in-app purchases. It can be anything. It's like, oh, you need to buy this thing, then take out this really predatory loan. And then every little mistake you make, we're going to make it even harder for you to make your payment, so you get more and more in debt. And then we sell the debt to some really shady company who are going to come and threaten you. That's the business, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, fucking big companies don't pay their debts.
No,
So yeah, that shit is really dark and really real, and the book kind of goes into it, right?
You have a big debt? Okay, here's a few trillion to bump up your bonuses a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you were in the room. I said this. The whole stimulus thing in the States, they're going to give everyone like $1,200 and tax them on it. It's like, what the fuck? Japan, I think they are like not as many people. They're giving money and not taxing it. So.
They were talking about a sensible thing, which would just be like rations,
Yeah.
food stamps.
Right.
Makes much more sense. But
And then the 1,200 that you're going to get taxed on, you can only use it like Walmart and Target. You can't go use it like a local business. I think it's going to be. I think the idea is it might be digital.
Okay.
And you have to use it at these certain places.
But in the film, we get it's like very specifically.
It sounded like I was talking about the film. It was reality
I know.
crap.
It's very specifically, this one company is evil. It's just this guy. He's a bad guy. Don't look at the system. The system is fine. Never question the status quo, right?
Don't worry about living in stacked up, dilapidated trailer homes.
Right. It's just, oh, this company has some evil practices, but we'll bring them down and everything will be fine. The capitalist system works just fine. Don't worry.
We'll meet the new boss, same as the old boss. His name's Wade.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to buy a big mansion and chill out. And then to impress the girl, he pretends to care. He doesn't give a shit.
No, he doesn't ever show a moral backbone. He manages to trick her into thinking
he wants to
got
win,
enough.
to be the winner.
Yeah.
Cunt. Everyone in this film is a cunt, apart from the girl. She's horribly deformed, so I can't like her.
Hey, you want to talk about the biggest cunt who doesn't actually appear in the movie?
Oh, right, yeah. What was his name? Like,
T.J. Miller.
no, I meant in the film.
Oh,
like,
I don't know, dude with the skull
Deathmax or
chest.
something stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's T.J. Miller. I'm wondering if he had some on-screen time which was cut. Because I feel like this came out after he'd already been cancelled. Or around the time he was being cancelled. Because like Deadpool 2, they wanted to cut him and just couldn't cut around it. He was in the film too much.
Who's he in Deadpool 2?
Deadpool's buddy.
Okay.
Oh, like the barman.
Sorry, I haven't actually watched Deadpool 2 yet, but I did look at the
He's
movie.
in Deadpool 1 and 2.
But I looked at the movie poster last night. Oh, okay, I seen him in 1 then.
Yeah. Oh, Deadpool 2, you would like Deadpool 2. It's way more of an X-Men film.
No, I know. I read the plot synopsis. I was like, oh, I actually need to watch this.
Why do you do that to yourself?
Because I was like, it's been 3 years, so.
Yeah, but you could also just watch the film.
I didn't know you became an X-Man.
You are fucking such a Ready Player One guy. I just need to know the facts and the details. I don't care about the meaning or the plot of anything.
No, in this case, it's just,
I know, I'm just being.
I only watch things for our podcast, to be honest, so
Yeah,
I
know,
really
right?
have to like shoehorn this
Do you
one
want
in.
to do Deadpool 2 next month? Skip Deadpool 1. Deadpool 2 we could talk about way more as a sci-fi film than Deadpool 1, to be fair.
Okay.
So I would be up for that.
We'll see what I will do at some point. We
Yeah.
have a whole lot more X-Men to do at some
But yeah,
point.
TJ Miller, big cunt. I don't want to say any more about him.
Okay. Sorry, I just need to look up a picture for... Oh, that dude. Okay, got it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't like some sex assault or some rape or something.
Yeah.
He's an asshole. He shouldn't be in films.
Should Spielberg be in films?
Is he? Does he?
There's weird
What?
rumblings about...
he? Oh,
he's
is he?
He's
That
linked
was some
up with
shit.
all these weird things.
Everyone is, right?
Everyone is now. That's why that's why everyone's locked down, because they're going around arresting everyone because
Epstein
Trump's a
didn't kill
hero.
himself. That's it, right? This is it. It's happening. The Great Awakening is upon us. Q is finally right.
Well, I live in Japan for a distinct purpose of not knowing what's happening.
I was keeping up, but I'm really trying to avoid my social media at the minute because it's just depressing. All right, let's talk about capitalism.
That's a segment.
Yeah, that was a point for you to make in your segment, because it looked like you were thinking about it.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about social media real quick. I was like, I do like hardcore the news sites real fast.
Right.
Basically just to see if I'm about to get locked down.
Oh, that's the thing. I know I'll get it from like Rob or Alan or you, so I don't even bother checking. I read about video games.
Are you ready, player one?
You already did that.
I know. I actually thought about doing it at the beginning of like every segment.
Right. In the book, when he puts on the Oasis, it says Ready Player One. It's like a thing. They didn't do it in the film. That's like a perfect title drop. Why wouldn't they do that? Because no one thought about anything.
Capitalist life.
Yeah. So, IOI. What was the boss man called?
Nolan. I wrote it down. Nolan. Nolan.
Sorrento.
Sorrento.
Right. And Mendelssohn's a pretty good actor. I like him in stuff usually. He's playing such a cartoon, generic, like, business, bad guy, that it undercuts the point that, like, oh no, actually, all CEOs are evil and should be shot.
Yeah, I thought he
Like-
was Martin Freeman for half the film, and then I realized he wasn't.
Like, they make such a, like, joke of him that you can't
Live with
really
this movie?
appreciate the villainy of this movie, right? Which is, like, in the book, like, the shit he's up to is real evil, but also very real. So they cartoonify him so you don't think too much about it.
Well, they put him up as, oh, here's this villain. He's just screwing up the system, where it's a systemic failure. Everything is fucked in the world of this movie.
Right. Yeah, even, like, Halliday is a much bigger villain.
I mean, he shat on the world, basically.
Yeah. Like, I guess we're going to have to get into the metaphysical stuff. Like, everyone in this world is in that thing and not that, which is not that different from the world we're in, right?
This is the
Where
reverse
everyone-
Matrix.
Yeah.
Everyone just went straight in,
Well, this is
and
what
they
I
didn't make cool stuff. They just reference everything.
This is what I said when we were talking about the Matrix. I was like, no, most people would just get in there willingly. And that's this film's philosophy, right?
Yeah.
This film is like, no, sit down in the cave and look at the wall.
And now that's reality.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I know, right? But we do live in but even before people were quarantined in their homes, we lived in a world where most people, they go outside in the real world, which is depressing, and they just go out for as long as they have to, then they go home and look at their screen.
And here we've got a podcast where the hosts just randomly go on 15-kilometer walks, 35 for you yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday I walked 38 kilometers into the mountains. How's that for social distancing, motherfucker?
I don't know what I did yesterday. I did some strolling. But
Dees, I saw some nice trees.
yeah, you need to see some nice trees. You need to get out.
No, that actually, because normally I go walking and I listen to my podcasts and stuff.
That's what I do.
But no, I turned them off for a bit and just like took off my shirt and just like stood in the breeze and just enjoyed being real.
No, occasionally
Living.
I walk like 20 minutes of, oh crap, I didn't turn on the podcast. That's the best walk, right? But I do enjoy listening to things too, of course.
Yeah. I've often thought, like, even just like my 20-minute walk to work, the couple times where I've got to work and I was like, oh, I never felt the need to put on a podcast today. I must be happy.
You depressed souls listening to us now.
I know this does sound a bit like rubbing it in, but
Yeah. But we do it.
we should say, right, like, Japan should be on lockdown and we are just waiting for the day. But
And we
it's
live in the
not.
mountains.
We live very much in the countryside. Also, I'm not going around hanging out with people. I'm wandering off on my own. So I think that would be allowed even in a
I
lockdown.
do that all the time.
Right. But, like, we work in a school. Like, we are not in a position where we can choose to socially distance.
Mm-hmm.
So until someone makes us, there's fuck all we can do.
But I think we're 2 meters apart now.
But, like, all day on Sunday, I had kids fucking spitting on me and
a
slumbering on
meeting
me
of
and
two.
climbing on me. So
No, I had a kid straight up cough on me, and I did go out and I said, okay, I think I'll sanitize real quick.
I had a kid who kept picking his nose and eating it and then trying to touch me, and I was getting real pissed off with him.
So this is our word, people. I mean,
Yeah. Though If it sounds like we're being sort of disrespectful and intolerant of people who are in like a lockdown situation, A, we know it's coming. And B, there's just not much we can do about it at the moment.
And 3, the local governments have only said, don't go to Tokyo. That's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean...
My daughter's at school today.
Yeah. Our prefecture hasn't had a lot of cases yet.
One.
Well, tested.
One
in
is...
Nagano City.
Yeah.
I think there's like 3 or 4 in the prefecture.
Recovered.
But that's really just because Japan's testing is terrible. I'm pretty sure they're trying to wait until after Golden Day to admit there's a problem, just for the... They want to
Week. It's a whole week of Golden, man.
I know. Did I say Golden Day?
Golden Week.
Golden Week, yeah.
There's like 3-day holidays in that Golden Week. I think
Yeah, I
Golden
meant to
Week
say
are
Golden
going
Week, I
to
just
be
fucked
like,
up.
stay in your house.
Right, but they also... But make sure you spend money.
Yeah.
Buy a ticket to Disneyland and don't go to show your solidarity.
No, I keep saying, like,
Live stream the ride.
Belarus keeps coming up because they got the soccer matches and stuff still, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, so actually Japan and Belarus if you want to get down to brass tacks.
The thing is, Japan took some half-assed measures at the start, and it does seem to have slowed it, but no one wants to admit that wasn't enough to, like, stop it.
But it's really ripping around the big cities at the moment. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, people do wash their hands, wear a mask, not touch each other anyway in Japan, so
Right.
it's been a bit slower.
Yeah, every time I pass the front desk, I spray my hands,
Yeah.
I do my washing until I get a Terminator 2, hand, all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, it's a weird situation. Just think 2 months ago, this conversation was completely ridiculous.
Yeah, well, also, I think the start of the year, everyone in, like, Europe and America was worried about us in Japan being close to it. And now it seems like we're the one country that's not dealing with it.
And Belarus. And Sweden. Sweden also is taking an interesting approach.
I could imagine Sweden's just doing it right, though, because they do everything right.
And we could be all fucked here, man. Maybe I'll post this podcast and then we'll all die.
But we made sure to have judgmental faces.
So... that this movie just became worse because it reflects the present so well in horrible ways.
The weird thing is, it doesn't present. The most dystopian aspect of this film is not
reality.
presented as dystopian. It's presented as like, oh, the other stuff is shit, but this is fine. This is good, right? It's like, no, that's the most fucked up bit of this film.
Yeah, I play far fewer games than you do, but my basic rule when I download a game for my iPad is, if I need to be connected, I'm not interested.
I'm kind of the same, apart from I do like playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
But in that case, it makes sense I need to be connected, because it's based on walking around and stuff.
I've had Mario Kart on my phone since it was released.
Same, and I've never played it.
Same here.
I've got the real Mario Kart on my Switch, and it's really good.
We've played it.
I don't want to play that shit one.
Yeah.
Also, and I've played a lot of that Mario Kart. I'm on 160 hours.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at racing games, and I couldn't do much damage on you.
Yeah, that's the thing. I basically can't play that game with my friends anymore. So me and Rob, we played some Mario Kart, and I had to use motion controls and stuff just to make a level playing field, and I still beat him on one race.
Handicap.
But then we play other stuff like F-Zero or whatever, and it's more even.
Yeah.
My Mario Kart is just redonkulous. I'm still not the best in the world.
Hit me on Burnout sometime. I'll get you.
Oh, it's coming to Switch, man.
Okay, tell me.
We're going to be all over the Burnout.
All right, let's meet in the Oasis. Midnight at the Oasis. Today's gonna be the day that they brought it all back to you.
So
I like that Oasis a little better.
Well, I'm from the UK, right? So it's hard to have feelings about Oasis. They're just everywhere.
My acoustic guitar is the Wonderwall guitar. I didn't know that when I bought it because it was 1995, but it turns out to be the Wonderwall guitar.
Wait, when were Oasis operating?
Earlier
than that?
93, 94, all the way to about 2011 or 12.
Okay. Well, because I was going to say, if you bought it before then, was it an Oasis guitar?
No, I learned that in 2015, actually.
But it wasn't an Oasis guitar when you bought it.
No, it was John Jorgensen Takamine.
Is it food before you eat it?
No, it's just the substance before you eat
right?
it. You make it into food.
Because I could eat this paper right now and swallow it, but that paper's not food right now.
If your stomach digests it properly, it will, but the staple and the ink might not sit with you so well.
Tomato is food, right? But what if I use this tomato to chuck it at a person's head? Is it food?
Now it's a joke.
Huh. Sorry, that's not related to anything. I wasn't leading to a point about the film.
Is this a movie?
No.
Unless you watch it.
Maybe it's a movie. It sure as hell ain't a film.
So, I don't like this movie that much. I don't hate it to your degree, but I'm not going to recommend it to anyone, and I doubt I'll watch it again. But, God damn it, I told you I had something to say and I lost the train of thought. Okay, I preempted it all.
Everything before that doesn't matter.
No, here we go. I was going to say, I'm basically finished with this. I would start wrapping up now, but I think you have something to say.
I have some stuff. I was actually just going to reference in your notes. You said you'd never go to the Oasis.
No, I don't like MMORPGs.
Right, but it's just a VR set. Wouldn't spend my time in it like they do. But it'd be cool to like do a skydive.
Oh no, I would be happy to do an Oculus Rift thing. I was thinking more like you can put that along the statement like I don't want to play an MMORPG.
Right. So everything is just one game in this?
Well, there's lots of little games. Do you remember me telling, I actually said it on one of your podcasts where I put a guest spot in. My one Pokemon game I played.
Yeah.
I played Heart Gold on the DS. And I had fun. It was fun. I liked it. I got to the first like major city, went in the casino, started playing the gambling game, kept playing it. A few months went by. I put the game back and I started playing the gambling game. Never got back to Pokemon.
Right. So every now and then companies try and bring out a game which is trying to be what this is. Like, oh, this is just the one place where you can come and have all your game experiences in one game.
Apple Arcade.
Oh, not even that, because Apple Arcade is separate games. It's just a way to buy them, right? I'm thinking like Dreams, PlayStation Home,
EverQuest,
Roblox. Yeah. It never works, right? It's like, when I want to play my racing game, I will play my racing game that's been made by people who are good at making racing games. When I want to play my shooter, I will put in a shooter made by people who can make shooters. I don't want to put in, like, Action Arcade 52 games in one, because they're all going to be shite.
The bass player for my old band apparently was really good at EverQuest, but he just level up characters and then sell them.
Yes, that's a big thing in all the MMOs, which is, like, fucked.
Apparently,
that'd be a huge thing in this world.
Yeah. Apparently he was quite good at that. But.
I know, I knew a guy who used to do that. And he was like a huge dweeb.
This guy's a hipster.
Okay.
You saw him, he was in Psycho Vixen. He's the guy with the fake Irish accent.
Okay, yeah. There's no fucking hipsters in this world. Everyone likes cultural properties.
No, John Halliday is the hipster, which pisses me off.
Right, but he's not, because he just likes stuff.
No, he sucks.
Yeah. Like, where were all the OCs? Other than the two main characters, everyone was just this thing from a thing. Like, who the fuck is going into the Oasis and playing as a Battletoad?
Yeah, if I were to do it, I guess a Battletoad could. But it wouldn't occur to me. Yes, that's true.
Right.
Okay.
I can understand, like, you'd want to be like some Spartans from Halo for a bit. But, like, you want to do other stuff, too.
Well, let's just say, I already said I'm not going into the Oasis, but let's say you and I we got the tech, we're going to go to the Oasis right now. What's your avatar going to be?
Just me, but a bit buffer. Actually, I'd be a chick now and then, just because, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
I do that in all video games, because, like, as a dude, you can wear, like, t-shirt or shirt, pants or shorts. It's boring. I can wear so much stuff.
I'd probably go gold shirt Star Trek, but I did that for last week's podcast.
Yeah, I do stuff like that. Well, I always joke. The problem is, if anyone ever gave me a holodeck, I'd just use it to go to the Enterprise. Like, yeah, I understand people would, like, do a lot of this shit. But would that be everything?
You couldn't lucid dream this stuff if you practice.
Yeah. Well, that's why you don't need the Oasis.
Yeah.
No, the main reason I would want the Oasis would just be, I've got friends on, like, the other side of the world, right? It'd be cool to hang out with them. Just feel a bit more real.
Yeah.
And, you know, for sex stuff.
No, the last lucid dream I had, I was actually walking with a couple of our coworkers, and we were like on the street, like kind of going into a crossing or whatever, and I realized it was a dream. I was like, "Hey, look at this!" I jumped in the air. Then I taught him how to do that, and then we flew around. It was fun.
That's pretty fun.
That's like the Oasis, but that's real, man. Or well, it's a dream reel. It's real dream
More
reel.
real than this.
Framework 2, man. This is Framework 1. That's Framework 2.
Also, like, they try and convince you that it would be, like, advantageous to have that suit that lets you feel what happens to you.
It didn't look so advantageous to me.
I don't want to buy a shirt that can kick me in the balls.
A shirt? No, it's a
whole
bodysuit.
wetsuit, but still. Fucking idiot.
No, I laughed like a half more second because I was like, you You can't kick someone in the balls on a shirt.
A long shirt.
Yeah, long shirt. Okay.
Fuck this film.
I'm finished with it. You want to hate on something else?
Do I have anything else I want to say? Oh, right. So, of course, this always happens in the books. Things can happen over a longer period of time. The film tries to make it happen very fast, right? But in the books, between the second and third gate, he's taken some time to set himself up in a situation. One of the things he does for optimal Oasis performance is shave all the hair from his body. And I love that. Like,
and
yes.
Itched like crazy.
Yes, optimum performance is bald. You cut that from the film, so fuck this film.
He was Cyclops.
Yeah.
You can't tell because of the visor.
which is ironic because next he's going to play Geordie LaForge.
Yeah, you do seem a bit here, though. Okay.
Yeah, the way this film used The Shining was fucking shit.
Yeah, like I said, it ruined my childhood.
Oh yeah, because the point of The Shining is it's very slow and tense and creepy horror, not just jump scares and stupidity.
And then it goes into that floating cyber disco thing. So I do need to grab here. Hand me my notes. I wrote something about that ridiculous Shining stuff. Oh, I don't know if why is the ballroom the haunted mansion? Okay, because it's a Shining, and then suddenly it's a haunted mansion.
Yeah, because this film is dumb and nothing has context.
The other note about that, I'm not sure if I should read. Do you want to hear it?
Does it say this film raped my childhood?
No, it's the one after that.
What?
Come on, this can't be as stomach churning as Anthony Weiner's laptop.
Wait, who the fuck is Anthony Weiner?
He was a congressman, and the New York police got his laptop, and apparently it has horribly disturbing things on it.
Oh dear.
And several of those police officers have since committed suicide, with quotations.
Okay. It just had stuff from Epstein's Island, didn't it?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't want to know.
Oh, also, this film starts with a fucking sight gag of a Japanese businessman who's about to kill himself. Just flippantly uses that as a little funny gag. This film occasionally gets so close to touching on real things and then just doesn't. Just bottles it.
It touches plenty of things in the wrong way.
It just curses a glance over things and never looks below the surface. Because video games deliberately using gambling mechanics to get money out of people with addictions is a real and very serious issue, right? And it probably has led to some suicides, but this film just treats that as a little gag. Isn't it funny? Sometimes Japanese people kill themselves because of the capitalist system.
Well, Dayton, Ohio probably has a pretty high rate in 2045.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta stage my Ready Player One intervention on you and cut you off.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I already said what I need to say. This is a film by cunts for cunts. If you like this film, you're a cunt. Sorry. If you meet Jeff Bezos, Halliday, or
Wade
Watts, or Steven Spielberg, punch him in the face.
Oh, yes. And you can, virtually punch us in the face by going to...
on Twitter, MLSFS We're also on Facebook. Just search Matt and Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary. We're on YouTube now. I assume you search the same thing. But I mean, if you've already listened to this, you'd have to listen to it again on YouTube. You're not going to get anything extra.
You get a couple pictures.
just like the 32-minute mark, just like a picture of me in my pants. Yeah, sorry that we had a big fucking Corona section, but every podcast has that at the moment. It's the law, I think.
And we're in such a weird place for it.
Yeah,
I don't think we're being irresponsible, but
yeah, it's...
because we're if I was in America, I'd be irresponsible because they'd be telling me to do a thing, and maybe they're telling me, but people are doing it, but no one's telling us to do anything.
Also, I'm not at the moment, I'm not currently going to crowded places. I'm just going and wandering around in the middle of nowhere, which I think I'm still going to be allowed to do if there is a lockdown, right?
Yeah, we're at a countryside temple here, so...
Yeah, but the only place where I'm going to spend time with people is at work, and I haven't been given a choice yet.
Yeah, same here.
So, if I had the possibility of self-quarantining, I would. I just can't.
Hey, if we do it, you guys might get like 3 episodes a week for a while.
Yeah.
But you're getting the one for now because we're in this bizarre bubble that has not yet popped.
Yes. But we got pretty angry in this film. So if you need a little podcast, if you need a break from 8 point shit, next week you might be hearing us talk about a good film. As a little bonus episode.
Oh, right. Yes. That's midweek, folks. It's like a Saturday. So,
Yep.
It'll pop up in your feed or whatever.
Check that one out. But then next proper episode, even though it's less of a proper episode than that one, Matt just decided he couldn't wait to release it.
Oh, I think that's the one I was talking. That's Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I was going to say next proper episode, but actually that one feels like more of a proper episode.
Yeah, we're giving you a little respite, especially after the darkness of this one. So, we're bringing you happy times on Saturday, folks.
Yep, but then after that we will be back to 8 point shit with Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Although I guess your movies have a more base level horridness about them.
This one definitely does.
Yeah. Whereas mine are more like they, epically disappointed me on opening night, I think.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, my fourth one is just a crap film. I don't have like this kind of hate for it.
Yeah.
There's not many things I do, really.
I started it last night. That's Dragon Ball, by the way.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Evolution.
And I sent Luke a fuck you because I was like, what's the other movie we're going to do that week? And he didn't tell me, so I had to start watching Dragon Ball.
Because I got home and just immediately fell asleep last night because I walked 38 kilometers yesterday.
Anyway.
Many of them up mountains.
Yeah. I'll plug my music. It's better in Ready Player One. That's rovingsagemedia.bandcamp.com. Whatever you're hearing here, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to commit to this one, but you'll hear it, so it's probably there.
And yeah, I guess I can plug my other podcast.
I didn't know if you wanted, because it's like games, right? They didn't reference it here. Could they have?
I don't think there's any Nintendo references.
Okay. Do you wanna put it into this episode?
Yeah, I do a Pokemon podcast called Luke Loves Pokemon. You can find it on Twitter at Luke Loves PKMN. But you're probably sick of listening to me already, so
get the fuck out of our sanctuary, bitch!
On Saturday, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, featuring Norman Lau and John Champion from Mission Log.
Don't need no rules in this time of Spartacus. We have the numbers, concentrate power in us. We take your world, it's the only one you've got. Are you to be free or not? Found no use for the queen or love the monarchy too. Never cared much for me, ain't never heard about you. We take your world, it's the only one you've got. Are you to be free or not? program. Better jam the transmission. Turn on your mind so that the up is at the given. Retake